it's me, Moody Boo, the Fragrant Nomad, and I'm back with another single perfume review. This is from a favorite house of mine, and it's the House of Gallagher, and this is CARPE CAFE. I don't know what that was, but this one is CARPE Cafe. CARPE Cafe. What is that? Anyway, so this is another re-release from Gallagher, and I don't think it was reformulated. I think it's just one that there's a hair. There's a hair. There's a hair. Why can't I get the hair? What is happening? Yeah. So anyway, I know, a hat catastrophe. I can't handle hairs hanging down in front of my face. I'm so paranoid they'll get in my eyes. It's a thing. Anyway, yeah, I know, bad hair day. So you get the hat again. Yay. But look, I upgraded it. I put little studs in the eyeballs of the dragonfly. And then on the boo flower, I added a stud there too. That's right, I zhuzhed this bitch up. Anyway, so CARPE Cafe is one of those, if I'm not mistaken, from Gallagher that was in the vault that they re-released. Now, I don't think it was reformulated. I think it was just kind of like the Disney movies, you know, once every 7 years they release it, kind of a situation. And I think that's what they did. I don't think it's going to be out for good. I think it's like Vanilla Silk, where it's just going to be out for a little while and then they'll put it back in the vault. So let me tell you what's in it, and then I'll tell you my thoughts. According to the bottle, it's Colombian coffee, French vanilla, cypress, myrrh, amber, and sandalwood. That's right off of the bottle there. So I do really like these bottles. I love the new caps. I think that's kind of cool. So before I get into how I feel about the perfume in general, I will say that this really solidified what I was suspecting when I bought Vanilla Silk, that their newer releases are better than their older ones. Sorry, but it's true to me. Rosé All Day is always going to be one of my desert island perfumes. I'm still nuts about that. Amongst Waves, in-freaking-credible. Behold, Patchouli is wonderful. And those are later releases, as I understand it. The older releases, the ones that they're pulling out of the vault, to me don't have that really high quality feel to them like the later releases do. Not that there's anything wrong with this perfume. Oh!
And fold up when swimming.
I have the TV on pause. Let me handle that, shall I? So anyway, I had the TV on pause, and it'll only do that so long. I'm watching Shark Week or Shark Fest, and so once the program gets so long, it won't go backwards anymore unless you restart the whole thing. So anyway, who cares? Back to the perfume. Anyway, his earlier releases, in my opinion, just don't seem to have that quality, that intense, luxurious kind of quality that his later releases do. Not that there's anything wrong with this. I just find it a little generic. It's a good coffee perfume, but I don't find it to be a great coffee perfume, and that's unfortunate. Did you notice I turned my shit back on? Forgot it. So anyway, let me spray it again. Ow. So, and the bottle's good, sprayer's fine. You know, it's a Gallagher sprayer, so there's nothing wrong with it. I do like that they put the notes on the front of it, though. I really do like that. So when you first spray it, it's, to me, just a black coffee with a little bit of cream and sugar in it. Now, it's a wonderful smell. I don't think there's any rendition of coffee that I don't like. Whether it's eating it, drinking it, eating the beans, obviously, drinking it, smelling it, there's no part of it I don't enjoy. But when I wear a coffee perfume, I want there to be a little something special about it. I don't want it to just smell like I spilled my coffee all over myself on the way into work. That isn't my goal with a coffee perfume, just saying. And this has that at the beginning. That's all it is to me, is warm black coffee with cream and sugar. Now, that does start to change a little bit within the first 10 to 15 minutes, and those woody notes start coming out. The cypress, the fir, the sandalwood, they really start to come out at this point, quickly followed by the myrrh. And that's, to me, when it becomes its most interesting, because it's like it stops being cream and sugar and coffee and starts becoming black coffee in a hot forest. Because when you're in a forest right after it rains, it has one aroma. On just a normal day, it has another, and on a hot day, it has a totally different aroma. Everything becomes much more aromatic. You can smell the sharpness in a lot of the notes that you may not smell when it's cooler. And that's what this reminds me of. I smell the needles on the fir. I smell the bark of the wood. I even smell a little bit of the soil that the roots grow into. It's all there. And then you add that myrrh, that dark and slightly sweet earthiness to it, and it really becomes lovely at this point. Really, really interesting. And it almost has a little pepperiness to it, too. This is when it becomes, I think, a lot of women or feminine personalities will interpret this to be a little more masculine at this point. It starts off pretty unisex, but it does become a little more masculine leaning, I think, in the dry down. And I don't love it at any stage. I really like it at this stage. I think it's the most interesting at this stage. And this is pretty much where it ends up. So in the deepest dry down, before it poofs out, little more of that cream and coffee and sugar come into play just lightly in the background. But the coffee kind of comes down to the level of the cream and sugar, whereas the trees and the pine needles and all of that stay about the same. So in my opinion, it becomes a woody perfume that dreams of being a coffee perfume, but it never quite reaches it at the deep dry down. It's really more about the woods and the forest and like that, in my opinion. And here's my biggest issue. The fragrance is fine. It's woody, coffee, green, kind of smelling, interesting in that regard. The performance is not good. It's not good for me. I've had this bottle, gosh, weeks. Before vacation, I've had this bottle. So it's weeks and weeks. And I've worn it quite a bit. And I've worn it with really well moisturized skin. I wear unscented lotion because I don't want it messing with my perfumes. But I do know that perfume tends to last a little better if your skin isn't real dry and flaky. So I've tried it on really hydrated skin, on just my normal skin, different times of day, in AC, out in the heat. And the performance stays about the same. I get 3 to 4 hours and it's gone. I mean, kaput. And it doesn't project well, in my opinion, either. At the very beginning, it's about arm's length, but that comes in quick within the first hour, and it's pretty much a skin scent after that on me. Now, you may have a different experience with it, but that's my experience, and extremely disappointing. This is a mid-range perfume. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I did pay full price for it on Gallagher's website. I believe that's the only place you can get the bulk released ones, unless you buy them secondhand on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, etc. So I'm not sure if I'd it was a blind buy. Okay, it's Gallagher. I blind buy Gallagher's. I feel very secure in that. But I may not blind buy another vault release. I may not. It'd have to be something incredibly intriguing. But any new releases that come out, because I have tried a few of his, like Overt is really good. And there's another one that I almost bought, another brand new release. What's it called? And I loved it. Not the evergreen one. It's a newer release than that. It's almost brand new, and I may get that one. I'll put a thingy up here that says the name of it. I'll figure out what the name of it was. That one reminds me of Enchanted Forest by Vagabond Prince, which I adore. In the vein of like Pulp by Byredo. But Vagabond Prince is more just this beautiful, rich, moist, green forest and juicy blackberry kind of an aroma. It's incredible. It's a desert island perfume, Enchanted Forest. I hate the bottle, but that's beside the point. This newest release of Gallagher's reminds me a lot of that perfume, and I adore it. So I may get it. I may get that one. I did sample it, obviously, so it wouldn't be a blind buy. But newer releases of his, I think I'm totally happy with blind buying. Now, I did try another new release from his wife's perfume line. Is it Pearlescent? Is that what it's called? Anyway, the first two I wasn't real crazy about. The rose one and the, was it tiramisu? No. I don't remember what it's called. Baklava? Baklava. Didn't like them. The rose one reminded me of Stella by Stella McCartney. You know, a lot of rose perfumes remind me of that if it's kind of a watery, sweet, delicate kind of an aroma, rose aroma. And the baklava, it didn't do anything for me. I know it's popular, but it didn't do anything for me. But there was another one, a jasmine one, that I was a little intrigued with. It does use the husband's Gallagher's note of apple crisp in there, so it's pretty good. But it still has that pearlescent, I don't know if it's a base that she uses or what. So I wasn't crazy about that one either. But I am going to continue exploring the House of Pearlescent because, come on now, Gallagher is a great house. And if they are in it together, they're going to maybe start getting some really good juice out there. But eventually it's going to happen. And I'm going to be there for it when it does. So, anyway, not a great performer, mid-range. Good perfume. If you are really into coffee perfumes, you may really, really love this one. Me, I am into coffee perfumes, but I have some incredible coffee perfumes. And so they are kind of my template. And this one just doesn't measure up to them. But it's a good starter for somebody getting into niche, wanting to try, you know, really kind of niche-y perfumes with a coffee perfume. This would be a good one to start with. Yep, it's a good perfume, but it just doesn't blow me away. But I'm glad I have it. I'm glad it's in my collection. So there you go. So, in my vacation perfume, one of them was coming from another country, and it's a little delayed. So, it's probably either, again, I'm saying the next video or the video after that, I will get my vacation haul video up. It's like, I thought I only ordered like 26 bottles, but it turned out I ordered closer to 28, 27 bottles. And there's still 3 that are out there and 2 of them that are still stalled. So when they get here, I will do that video. And I didn't even use all my vacation fund. I can't believe how much I saved up for this. I was really planning on going to Hawaii, but then the airlines were just too skittish, too much, you know, cancellations and stuff, and so we just decided not to do it this year. And I always do my Christmas shopping over there and gift shopping for the year. And since I didn't do that, couldn't do that on the island I was on, there was no stores to speak of on there to do any shopping, and you had to take the ferry to go do shopping. I spent a good chunk of money on some new perfumes, but I'm super happy. I can't wait to share them with you. I know I keep teasing it, but it's coming, I swear. I thought they'd be here by now, but it may be another week or a week and a half, so it'll happen. All right, well, that was it for Carpe Cafe by Gallagher, and thank you for being here. God, I always do that so loud. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, because I know a lot of you watch, but you don't subscribe. No, that's probably not true anymore, because not that many people watch anymore. Anyway, thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell and comment if you want. If you don't, it's all good. I still love you. And use your own nose. Peace.